And now it's time for my Greek-style lamb kebabs. And you can hear in the background, children from the neighbourhood around us have swarmed upon us so they can eat our lamb kebabs.
I think it might have been about my seafood sausage.
Or maybe school's out, one of the two, but
Yeah.
you know what it is. But what we start with is some beautiful lamb. And what I've gone down to my butcher and I said I'm making some beautiful lamb kebabs.
I said I'm making some beautiful lamb kebabs.
Exactly, that's exactly how I said it. And what he did is gave me some lamb, and this is some lamb topside here, which is beautiful. It's got lots of muscles in there, and it's perfect. Lots of flavour and stuff. And what I did is I asked him not to cut it up because I wanted to dice it up. And that's a good way to do it. If you chat to your butcher and tell him what you're making, he'll give you the perfect cut. That's how you
What's your butcher's name?
My butcher's name's Ross. Ross and Damien are my butcher's names, but they're lovely blokes anyway.
You've got to get to know the people you buy your good products from, like your seafood, your meat, and your fruit and veg.
Exactly. That's the thing nowadays with meat. You know, you go to a supermarket, you open the packet. You really need to understand it more. But if you get to know your butcher, they're going to look after you.
That's why the markets are so great to shop at the farmers' markets, because it's local then too.
Now, I've cut it into cubes this size, and I'm going to throw it into my bowl here. Now, Janelle, if you can pick some of the dill that's in front of you and the parsley and some of this oregano, pop it onto your board there and give it a rough chop, and we'll throw it in here.
I could put some oregano in my
that'd be beautiful.
seafood things.
That'd be lovely, but I snaffled the oregano.
Snaffled
the oregano, and I love lamb. This is beautiful. You can use whatever cut you want. If you want to make chicken kebabs, if you want to do beef ones, turkey kebabs, whatever you want to do.
This is a Greek show. You've got to use lamb.
Lamb's fantastic. Spring lamb or goat. Greeks often use goat as well.
It's a very healthy meat to eat.
There we go. I'll pop this over here.
Not much fat on it. It's easier to digest too.
There we go. And I'll give my knife a little bit of a wipe. Now, what I want to do is marinate my lamb. I want some flavour in there. The lamb tastes beautiful just as it is, but it needs some extra bits. Now, give that a rough chop. I've got in here some sherry vinegar, which I'll just pour on top of it. Meat and vinegar go so well together. It helps to break it down, but it gives us a sharpness as well and makes it even flavoursome. If you haven't got vinegar, you can put some lemon juice in, you know, or a bit of both. You can put some of the zest in if you want. It doesn't really matter. But, you know, a nice little squeeze of lemon juice, that's it.
How rough, Adrian?
Oh, just chop it a little bit more.
So when you say rough, you don't mean rough?
Well, there's rough, and there's just a little bit,
So that's a fine chop to me.
What I want with the herbs is to actually coat and stick to the stick to the meat, so that it actually stick to it. Throw it in. Go on.
A bit more.
Oh, that's okay.
Look,
that's beautiful.
I'm happy.
No,
Sun's shining, kids are playing,
kids
birds
are
are singing.
screaming, yelling. There we go.
Adrian's bees made this, honey.
There we go. These I've actually got 2 beehives on top of the restaurant. And we make it's beautiful honey. And we make our own. There we go. There's a lid. Make our own honey, and we use it in a lot of the dishes. And actually, people come to us and often say that the honey tastes a lot different than normal. It's beautiful, isn't it?
It's so good.
My little honeybees working away. Now I've got some rosemary that I'm going to
slave labour.
It is. They work for nothing, those little bees, but they make beautiful honey. Throw it all in. That's the thing about city bees, because there's so many different flowers and herbs and stuff that they can get their honey from. Now here I've got some dried oregano and some dried mint.
Did you do your garlic yet?
Oh, that's it. Crush some garlic and throw it in there.
2 or 1?
Two cloves would be perfect. Some oregano in there, and I'm going to put in some olive oil. Now, I might have said this before, but when you're cooking on a barbecue, open flames or briquettes or whatever you're cooking on, only a little bit of oil. You don't want to get any flare up. You know, you want to stop that flare up because it gives it a sort of yucky sort of flavour. You like that? Yucky.
Like char grill. What's better than what was the other one?
Like a Castrol GTX sort of flavour. You know that petroleum flavour you get from cars? You definitely don't want that on your meat. But if you get a flare up, that's the flavour you get. A nice big twist of pepper, and I'm using coarse pepper here. You can see these big, thick pepper granules. Throw it in there. Beautiful. And then...
I think we're going to get an Adrian dictionary by the end of this.
There we go. All
words
these different
according
words.
to Adrian.
Oh,
Plepper?
Lovely. Plepper. And there we go. Just mix it all around. You can use your hands if you want, but I'm going to skewer all this up. And you can see all this flavour. I think they're arguing over who's going to get the lamb kebab first, but don't worry.
I can't even hear them.
It'll be me anyway, kids. There we go. Just give that a mix around there, and I'll put these tongs over here. Now, that's fantastic. We'd normally marinate this overnight if we could, or at least an hour, but, you know, I'm hungry, as I always say. We want to get this going quickly. Now, what I've got is a sword, and these are the swords you usually see at circuses with people doing this sort of thing, but they're not. This is a sword. This is the sword that I used to cook with. And what I'm going to do is pop a lemon on the first side, and I'll just push that through.
See, that just scares me.
Never do this towards someone, always do it away, you know, and push the sword through the middle. Yeah, it's very dangerous to do it. And then what you got, Janelle, you're going to help me with this.
Did you put this in, Adrian?
Yeah, I put some of that in.
What did you put? What is it?
It's dried oregano and dried mint. A lot of people use fresh oregano, which is nice. I don't use a lot of dried herbs, but dried mint and oregano is what I like.
Beautiful.
And what you do is you put the sword through all the way through the middle there like this. You can buy these in Middle Eastern stores, and they're pretty easy to get hold of.
Really? Since I've seen yours, I've been having a little squiz, but I think it takes time. You have to persevere.
I'll send some to you. Yeah, I could just
in the mail.
I could just see you skewering up your tofus and what is it, tofu and tempeh with these things. There we go. Pop it on like that. There we go.
Prawns, big fat.
Prawns would be great. Lobster tails. We call them lobby tails down here. Lobster tails. There we go. And you pop that on there, spread it out, and then with the other end of the lemon, I put it on the end there like that. There we go.
Like bookends.
Like bookends. And what it does, the lemon sort of base it as you're cooking it, and I've just forgot the salt. There we go. A nice amount of salt on each side there, and then I put it straight onto my barbecue. You can see I've got a little tray there, so that I can...
Like a rotisserie.
It's like a rotisserie, and I can keep turning it around. And the other thing is you can see I've got most of the coals on this side here. So when I want to get it really hot, I move it over this side, and I get a lot of heat into it. When I want to slow it down, I just move it over here. See, this is a thinking man's barbecue. You know, when I'm using briquettes, barbecue briquettes like this.
What does that do?
Well, the salt, I had some in my hand, so I put it on there. It gives it a bit of a sparkle, but there we go. So what we'll do is I'll skewer this one, we'll get this on, we'll barbecue this up, and we'll make a little bit of a... See, that's a lot of heat in here. It's a lot of heat, so you need to be able to control it, and by doing it this way, you can control it. So we'll skewer this one up, we'll clean this down, we'll make a salsa up, and we'll get ready to finish this up. Here we go, look at that.
That's a nice looking skewer, Adrian, or souvlaki.
Beautiful, isn't it? And the lemon on each side. The lemon, actually, the juice from that lemon there is beautiful. You can hold it this way, give it a little bit of a squeeze, and the lemon runs down it.
I love barbecued lemon.
And squeeze it this way. See that? Beautiful lemon running down it. And I'll just, with a fork, just scrape it off like that. And the meat is cooked beautifully. Now, what I'm going to do is just...
Not bad for a white boy.
Not bad at all. I'm just going to scrape this meat off here, and you can see we've made the salsa there, and we've got that lovely bread. I've warmed it up, and it's lovely. I'll pop that there. Now, what we're going to do with that is just spoon some of this on, because I think the yoghurt and the herbs and the tomato and the cucumber, a little bit of onion, gives it a nice flavour. You know, just spoon it around.
A lot of people eat souvlakis at like 3 o'clock in the morning on the way home, waiting for a cab.
Yeah.
Imagine if you got one of these.
If you could just do one of these and spread a little bit of lettuce around it, not too much lettuce, you know, and then you can just put a couple of these pieces around here, you know.
That's a big meal, Adrian. Oh.
It is a big meal, but it's a great snack as well. Squeeze a little bit more of this lemon on here. You can you pass me one of those fresh lemons there? And we'll squeeze a bit of this on here.
But look at those juices there. I've got to get those, Adrian. All those good bits there.
The meat juices, that'd be beautiful. There we go. Scrape that, put that on.
Aren't they the good bits?
It's all good. What I'm going to do is get a little piece of the meat here, some of this yoghurt, put it on top here like that, and eat this in a very dainty sort of way, and tell you what it's like. Beautiful.
All right, I want to have a little bit of that.
That's some of the bread.
A little bit of that, and go like that.
Pick it up like this. This is the other way of eating it.
Adrian, that's lovely. Really nice. What happened to the barbarian thing? I thought we were going to try. You know?
Couldn't help myself.
Right, OK. Beautiful, beautiful souvlaki. I think we did OK for a couple of non-Greek folk. You can't speak.
I'm feeling Greek now.
OK, let's see if you can finish that. I dare. Go on.